On October 17th, leaders of the Rippln community got together to answer the biggest and most challenging questions about Rippln. This interview series is based on a survey of over 1,208 Rippln community members and was conducted earlier this month. Welcome, my friends. This is Jonathan Budd and Brian Underwood. How's everybody in the Rippln doing today? And we're making this video series really because we want to do a recap of the last 6 months in Rippln. No matter if you just heard about us at the very beginning when we launched in April because a friend told you about it and you wanted to check this new, cool, crazy concept out that was going viral, or whether you've been following us for the last 6 months, whether you're one of our core partners and leaders in the Rippln community, whether you're just a player and kind of checking things out and watching and seeing how everything's going, we felt that it was time to do a complete State of the Union. What is going on in Rippln, what's going on in the hearts of the Rippln, and the minds of the people in Rippln, just what is happening, period and end of story. And we conducted this pretty interesting survey. Last week, actually, we had over 1,200 people respond and complete the survey that we conducted. And the results were, let's just say, extremely interesting, fascinating, one might even say. And we decided that since this really is the voice of the people, this is what's on your mind, this is what's on your heart, this is your burning questions, Brian and I decided that we'd hop on the line here and take a moment to really just have a candid, open conversation with everybody about what's gone on, about what's going on, and about where we're going. Would you say it's pretty accurate, Mr. Underwood?
I would say it's pretty accurate.
How you feeling today, by the way? I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed CeeLo over here, but he's in just a disclaimer, he's not wearing the glasses because he's literally that cool. It's because if you saw our setup right now, there's so much light reflecting in our eyes.
So if I take it off,
he's blinded.
That is the pale side of me, I guess, the freckles. But I can't see, so I thought I'd be cool.
Glasses.
Yes.
Those glasses are very required at the moment. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. You ready, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Let's rock and roll. I'm excited about this. So, overview, there was 1,208 responses. And I think what's important here, everybody, is that you know that, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what country, no matter your age, no matter your demographic, we're listening, okay? We want you to know that we are listening. And we have tallied your feelings, your thoughts, everything that's going on. And I hope that you find this conversation as, as enriching as we do, because the truth is that, our vision, what we started in Rippln, what we launched back in April, it really is one of the biggest darn visions that any of us might have the chance to participate in our lifetime. And what we're doing here, it is a movement. It truly is a movement. And like any movement, it's often met with challenges and difficulties and just a serious need for execution. And so we've had to literally over the last 6 months shift gears from being able to focus on our movement and focus on driving this conversation and driving the front end the way we want to. And we've really had to shift gears and to focus on execution and solving problems and actually growing into a company that can handle the scale of millions and millions and millions of people, which frankly, as you'll see as we go through this, we weren't prepared for when we came out of the gates and launched to 1 million people in 78 days. So.
Yeah, and I think that the other thing is something that you said that is very important that I think all of us understand, but sometimes it takes a minute to internalize that, and that is sometimes you don't know the challenges you're going to be presented with when you're doing something that hasn't been done. And so, when we started this concept, one of the key strategies that we really focused on that we wanted to be as a blue ocean company. We wanted to do something that has never been seen and never been done, but really solves a problem in the marketplace, and that is giving people the ability to understand their value in the market based on the ripple effect that they create. And doing that, like Jonathan said, is that there's been so many unforeseen challenges that's given us an opportunity to really align, get our feet back underneath us to where we can now, start moving forward on an offensive direction, I guess is the best way to do it. So really the last 90 days has been not only getting our feet underneath us, but validating that we can pull off what this vision that we casted in the beginning was.
Absolutely. And the truth is that over the next 30 days, what you're going to see from us and from everybody working on Rippln is the validation of the entire concept we started with, which is still one of the most exciting concepts you will ever hear in your life. I mean, just think about this. You can be literally within the next 14 days out there sharing free apps with the world that are some of the most popular apps in the world and getting paid every single time somebody you share that app with downloads the darn thing.
And they download it for free.
I mean, this is stuff we're doing all day, every day that we're now for the first time going to have the chance to get paid for. And oh, by the way, you can build a residual income around that finances your life all by playing a fun game right through the back office of Rippln and our play tab and leveling up and all the different things that we have available for people. This is still one of the most exciting concepts any of us, I believe, will ever have the chance to participate in. It's incredibly important that we get clear on where we are now, on what happened, and on how to move forward. So that's what this is about.
And I think that, people are asking, well, what is Rippln about? Because we've had so many different conversations starting with app engagement, mobile engagement. And one of the things that we've always...
That is exactly what the question is.
Yeah.
What is literally the greatest question we got were related to understanding the Rippln model and your role within it. And so the first one we'll just dive into. I still don't understand, what is Rippln all about?
Exactly. But you
were answering it.
Right, because there's been, and I think that anytime you cast a vision, when we opened up our Buzz campaign in April wasn't the first day that people become players in Rippln. It was the first day that we took the conversation to the world. And I think it's important for people to understand that conversation, what happened was we started about sharing with you how you can get paid off of driving apps in the marketplace. And then that conversation evolved that, it's bigger than just apps, because once you have this Rippln platform that tracks your ripple effect, then you can create a whole ecosystem around it. The Rippln Wealth Revolution, where anything could be socially shared through that platform, not just apps. But one of the things that I think that got is expectations is the degradation of information is now, because we didn't have our plan in place, people couldn't power up. So the imagination, which is our most powerful tool in the world to create our reality, starts running crazy out in the marketplace. And I think one of the things that I think is the main purpose of this conversation is to bring it back down to helping you understand what Rippln is in a very simplified manner. And Rippln, this entire conversation starts off with getting paid for you to refer people to apps and they download them for free. That's really what it's about. It's about using mobile engagement to track your ripple effect. And so that's what we consider the power of one. And we use illustrations like Angry Birds or like Voxer and these apps and these companies that go viral and they get millions of dollars of valuation, but there's never been a platform or a system in place to track the impact that you had on those companies. And so for me, Rippln is a very simple concept. It's about understanding what my value is by referring people to an app.
Yeah, that's at its core level what I would say the basic validation is that we'll be rolling out over the next 14 days, depending on when you see this, when we launch app sharing on the October 28th. The thing that I would also add to that, which is why you've also seen more than just apps from us, is that Rippln is also a community, and we throw out the word ecosystem as well. It also is an ecosystem, and one of the things that we learned when we launched this concept is that there's more we share than just apps, and so why don't we get rewarded for all the things we share? Whether it's hard, good products, whether it's books, whether it's movies, whether it's apps. And so we, right now, a lot of that is still conceptual, right? We've only launched the first hard good product in the Ripple, the smartwatch, to everybody who has your smartwatch. Cool. And there could be a million more things that we launch. But what we've done is we've created the platform that makes it possible for us to share and get rewarded from pretty much anything that we put in the Ripple. And so that's why you'll see us coming out with offers from time to time, like a smartwatch or like a new app or like the ultimate game of life.
Or a movie.
Or a movie. I mean, we could, and literally we might. We're working on a movie. And we might launch a movie in the Ripple and you get rewarded from sharing the movie. The core thing is that we are the platform that just pays you to share stuff that you love. If you love it and you like it, share it, and Rippln will pay you for it.
So philosophically, it's a platform for people to get rewarded in the marketplace for their value.
Absolutely. So, moving right on, how can I succeed in Rippln? And, just truth be told, here's what I feel. Here's my take on how you can succeed in Rippln. It all depends on just how passionate you are and how much you want to succeed. Now, if you just want to pay your car bill, your phone bill, your electricity bill, then just have fun, share the apps, make a couple $100 a month, and do whatever you want to do and just have fun with it. If you want to build a residual income that pays you thousands of dollars a month or $10,000 a month, then I would say, just like all the people who are making thousands of dollars a month and tens of thousands of dollars a month right now, because some people are, put your whole heart into it, Just really take it on. Ask Rippln leadership, hey, how do I really be successful in this thing? What are the actions I can take every day, What can I do to make more money? And really, it's simple. Invite, and just plug people into the Rippln system and share the concept with them and invite them to become a player and do what you're doing and play the game. And that's how this whole thing works, and that's the magic of the platform.
And I would say how to succeed in Rippln in very short order is, number one, if you want to succeed financially in Rippln, you have to power up and be a player within the community, because players generate income. The cool thing about it is where people are at from a timing perspective. I believe timing to business is what location is to real estate. And so we are going to give you step-by-step instructions, training leveled up to meet you at what your needs are as we go from the validation stage that we're at into mass market monetization, as we start rolling out, the app share concept, and as we go into Rippln 2.0. And so the cool thing about it is if you've ever wanted to be first, you are first right now, and you're part of the pioneers. And for some of you, being a pioneer, you have felt the arrows going into doing a concept that hasn't been done. But I believe right now the timing is perfect for someone that wants to succeed in Rippln, as all of the systems are coming together.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Let's keep crushing it. Hope you guys are loving this. Why are you charging so much to be a player? That's an interesting question, because it comes from the standpoint of comparison, but you're not really comparing. What are you comparing it to, whoever's asking this? And the truth is that we're not charging almost anything to be a player. I mean, the truth is when you look at other companies in the industry, when you look at what's it cost to be a business owner, franchises cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's companies out there that cost thousands of dollars. Rippln right now costs $95 and $30 a month. I mean, that's extremely affordable, So really, we're not charging so much to be a player at all.
Well,
but we are charging because we're a company and we need to survive. And unless we make money somehow, then we don't have any way to pay the technology costs, the operational costs, all the payroll involved. I mean, who do you think's filming this? We don't have the money to pay unless we charge something. So the disclaimer that I'll also make is that the price points on the front end, this is going to be something that over time, this is going to change, right? Because we don't actually know what the best price point is. We want to discover that. And so one of the things that we've been talking about all weekend is moving forward, we might start testing all sorts of different things. One day we might test, $29 a month and get rid of the $95. And then one day we'll test $200, and one day maybe we'll give it all. We don't know. We're going to have to test to continue to find things out. But the reason why we're charging simply is because we believe that there's an enormous value in the opportunity that we've given everyone to create a business from their mobile phone that has the ability to pay them thousands or tens of thousands of dollars a month, all for what? 29 bucks a month or 95 bucks to get started? I mean, that's unprecedented. Oh, and by the way, it's one of the coolest viral conversations anyone's ever heard. So maybe that just gives a different perspective to that question.
And I would ask someone this, is that everything that you do has to be supported and tracked. So what would you pay to be able to track your social value throughout the world? And so what we're doing, Facebook hasn't even done, literally, to be able to track transactions, you know, through multiple ripples, literally, that could go, you know, infinitely. And so, you know, one of the things I think is very important for people to understand is that this is a company for the people and by the people. We are not investment banking backed. And so that helps offset the cost to support you. By no means is that a profitable generating activity, because as we go from 1.4, 1.5, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, all of those users have to not only be supported from a bandwidth perspective, but you got to also remember, one of the things that we're doing is we're tracking every transaction, which is a different layer of technology altogether. And so, you know, I guess my question would be to you, is we want constantly feedback from you guys. What do you think the value of that would be in the marketplace? To me, it's a lot more than $99. LinkedIn charges $99 just for premium features.
A month. LinkedIn charges $99 a month just for features that allow you to look at your network a lot more. I mean, we're literally allowing you to track your network's viral growth to infinity and get paid on it for a third of that a month. I mean, LinkedIn doesn't give you an ability to build a totally life-changing business.
Plus, we track all the transactions. We do all of the counting. You know, so I think it's very simple for those that want to be a player. Now, if you don't want to be a player and you just want to participate in the novelty of it, you can always be a fan for free and just engage into your back office or participate in downloading the app. So I think that's very important to distinguish the difference in a player and a fan. So actually, our community is free unless you really want to monetize this and make it a business as a player. And for that, I think it's very minimum.
When will I be able to make money?
People are making money right now. You know, the cool thing about our ecosystem and platform is we're constantly evolving it. And, you know, we have people for the last 60 days that have been generating income. This month alone, we've had individuals generate up to 5 figures in 1 week. And so right now, you know, for every player that you have within your Rippln community, that we pay you out a player engagement bonus. So if they have fans that they've referred in, you're going to generate income off of all of those players within your community. So we have people that are generating income literally off of thousands of players that are in their Rippln. Plus the different promotions or the different products that we introduce into the Rippln, there's always commissions attached to it. So right now, people can make money. Now back in April, May, and June, they could not. And the reason why they could not in July is because we were in the buzz phase of our program. As soon as we started validation phase of our program, we started paying out rewards and commission checks to those people that powered up to be a player within the Rippln community.
The comp plan is confusing and not easy for regular people to fully understand. Is there a way to simplify it? That means the rewards plan, how you actually get paid when you generate activity in your Rippln.
And I agree with you. It is confusing. The reason I say that I agree with you, I believe that if you don't understand Spanish and you go to learn Spanish, it's confusing. One of the things I think that is our opportunity is to really break this down from a training perspective for all of our players, to simplify it so not only you understand it, but you can articulate. And that's something that we're currently working on right now as we speak. And I think that you're going to see us refine this from a marketing perspective so people can actually start understanding it more and more, as well as learning the play tab within their Rippln back office, because that helps you also understand it as you see it working. So those are some of the things that we're working on to fine tune. And the cool thing about it is you're first. So 8 months down the road, you know, there's going to be constant new evolution of if you want to say marketing materials, training materials, to help you get a better grasp on how powerful that is.
Well, why don't fans have more incentives? And I'll answer that one. I think that there's actually some really good incentives for fans. I mean, I don't know too many services for free that will let you build an audience, truly build an audience. I mean, all you have to do is sign up to Rippln as a free fan, and you can start sharing it and tracking your Ripple all over the world. And one day, if you ever want to make money from that audience, then you can, level up and become a player. I don't know too many services like that for free that let people do that. And in addition to that, using all the apps and products that are coming out in Rippln that are free, any fan can use all the products and everything for free. And the last thing I'll really say is that, we're only 6 months into this entire concept. So, really all of us kind of have to sit at it's almost like we're at a movie and we're watching how the movie is going to unfold. Over the next 12 months, we could test an enormous amount of really cool, fun things like gamification, and how do we add more gamification and people earning points as fans and leveling up and badges and all sorts of fun things. But, it takes time, and that's what we're all here to do. We're sitting on the edge of our seat as the movie sort of unfolds itself. Is really kind of
if I can just address that really quick, because I think it's so important. And one of the things that this document does is we want to clean up the perception in the market and also your expectation. And there's a lot of expectation out there that, quite frankly, there's no way we can meet within not a 6-month period of time, but a 3-month, really. If you look at the day that we started taking power-ups, it's been, 90 days. And one of the conversations we've always had is giving fans incentive to earn points like you're playing skee ball and redeem those into a fan store to get an iPad or an iPhone.
Yep.
But now, that is in progress. We want to roll that out, but we have to evolve, like Jonathan said. It's a part of being with such an enormous vision is give us time. We're a baby right now. And so when we cast a vision, we're casting the vision of what we're leaning into and what we're going to become. That doesn't mean we're going to have all of that day one, just like Facebook didn't have it day one. Apple didn't have it day one. And so that's more of a business conversation for entrepreneurs to understand. We are going to get there. Stay with us and let's focus on what we do have and all the incredible achievements that we've already achieved, just like paying out rewards and commissions for people making in-app purchases through the Ripple. That's never been done in the marketplace and in business today, and we validated that 30 days ago. So we will have more and more features with fans, and we want to hear some of your feedback and ideas of how we can give more additional benefits to people participating in the Rippln community.
Absolutely. Why so many delays with the communication app? This is a fantastic question. But one we've addressed, in a webinar that we've done before, some presentations, but if you haven't heard it before, we'll address it again. In an extreme nutshell, we needed to make a decision as a company whether or not we wanted to focus on the short term or the long term of our vision. And obviously everybody is so excited about the communication app. I mean, who's not excited about having an app in your hand that you get paid from just for talking to your friends, and it's one of the coolest apps on the planet to do all your communication from? I mean, that's ridiculously exciting. And we needed to make a decision as a company because back in April, it came to our attention once Rippln really took off and started to scale, and all of a sudden we were on track to be at 1 million people in the Ripple before we even released the app. And we started doing all sorts of crazy testing on the app, load balancing, all these things I won't go into. We discovered that the way the app was built by our first development team, which as a company, we spent $180,000 developing this app. And it was out of a team from the Ukraine. And for whatever reason, the way they built it, it was not able to scale past a certain number of users. They did not build the app to scale. So all of our plans, everything we'd been building for, $180,000 we had spent, really was not able to handle the type of growth that we were going through. And we didn't know that we were going to have that growth. And so we had to make an incredibly difficult decision. Do we launch the app and take the chance that it could fail, that the app could literally break and that we may not be able to scale beyond it? which would put the whole company in a devastating position of now needing to wait months and months and months to get a new app that we could scale with, which would obviously destroy the confidence that was out there? Or do we not launch it and rebuild the entire app from scratch with a brand new development team that costs 3 times as much because they're the best in the world, basically, and delay the whole project? And we had to make an incredibly difficult choice, and we made what we believe is a long-term choice for you, for everyone involved, which is let's delay and make sure that this app can scale to the numbers that we know it can go to and the numbers that we were experiencing. And because of that, it was a very difficult choice, but it pushed our timelines back immensely because we literally have rebuilt the entire app, the entire thing, and innovated it because we took the opportunity, since we were rebuilding it, to add in a completely new feature set and all sorts of other things. And we innovated based on how the marketplace had evolved to just in the few months that we were developing the first one. So it will actually be a blessing in disguise, I promise you. And the communication app is coming right around the corner. We're in the final stages of launching it. So hang on because it's coming soon.
And there'll be constant releases for that. You know, I mean, he mentioned a number with, you know, what we put into the very first development team. We completely just canned that, trashed that, and started from scratch. This quote was close to $1 million as we go through version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4 of the communication. So once you get the communication app, you'll have the basic features, and then within 30 or 60 days, you'll get an update, which will be enhanced features, and then you'll get another update. And so this app is, to us, mobile engagement at the highest level, but it's truly innovative in the marketplace, and I know you guys are gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. So, and why no Android version of Photoguestaroo? I actually made a video about this last week. You can check our blog, rippln.com/blog. The Android version of Photoguestaroo is coming very soon. We've been working away on it, and like everything, you know, we're committed to excellence. We don't want to put inferior products in the marketplace, so we're just putting the finishing touches on it. We just hired another resource, so everybody's going to have Android for Guestaroo very soon. When can we validate the basic vision of Rippln? Brian, how do you want to answer that one? I'd say that's for you.
Well, I think that we are validating it. I mean, I think Photoguestaroo was a huge validation. I mean, not only a huge validation for Rippln, but in the marketplace, it has created waves, meaning being rewarded for someone downloading a game, playing with their friend, and then when their friend makes a purchase, you're getting rewarded and getting a percentage of the purchase that your friend made. Think about Clash of Clans, for instance. Could you imagine if you were getting paid off of tens of thousands of people playing Clash of Clans that's doing $1 million a day in in-app purchases? So
$2 million. $2 million a day.
Ballpark figures. But my point is, we have validated it, I believe, since day one. The first validation point was being able to see your Ripple grow and the ripple effect. Well, we tracked the conversation that you started spreading through single invites. That was number one validation. Number two validation was, you know, we actually turned on the power up process where then you did get rewarded for other people that became players in the Ripple, and they got fans that were engaged in the Ripple as well. So we've had a lot of rewards going out around the world for that. Number three, Photoguestaroo. Number four, we validated we could do commerce. We introduced a promotion, the Ultimate Game of Life promotion. We did hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, and we've paid out hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue to the players that promoted it and created a ripple effect from it. And then we also introduced the very first smartwatch, beating Apple and beating Samsung out of the gates, to where the company, it wasn't about the company making money, it was about you sharing this with your friends and you got rewarded. And now you're going to see us go into the next evolution of validation, because that's where we're at from a timing perspective into our app share concept, which is going to blow you guys away, because you're going to be able to get paid cash for getting someone to download an app for free.
First time ever.
So validation is happening.
And then right after App Share, which comes in the 28th, we roll out the communicator. And truly at that point, the entire vision of Rippln that we started with is validated. I mean, everything that we started with. So why has this whole process taken so long? This is a great one. When you say so long, what are you comparing that to? because if you really like, if we educate ourselves on technology, right? The largest companies in the world take years and years and years sometimes to roll out huge product divisions, right? Apple takes years to roll out a product they've been working on. But if it's $1 billion idea, if it's $1 billion concept, it should. $1 billion ideas and concepts don't happen overnight. I mean, they can, but the real, the real ideas, the real $1 billion concepts deserve time. They deserve energy. They deserve effort. They deserve all of our effort. And so if you look at from where we started, how big this concept is to create the world's first viral tracking social platform that allows you to track any app that's connected to it, any product, anything, and pays you for your influence and pays you for the rewards that you create. That is an enormous concept. And so the truth is that we've accomplished so much in the last 6 months. Most companies from a technology perspective would be like, you guys did what? You rolled out this entire platform, you rolled out your first app, you rolled out hard goods, you rolled out gamification features, all these things in 6 months. I invite you to just look at it from a different perspective, because while we agree, it's been challenging on everybody, and we've really had to step into, more of our own greatness and step into more of our own entrepreneurial problem-solving abilities. The truth is that we've actually really accomplished an incredible amount over the next 6 months, akin to with the seed that we've planted is now sprouting forth from underneath the soil, and it's about getting ready to blow into an oak tree. But the toughest part is when that seed breaks through the soil and it hits sunshine. And sunshine right now is money. And money's coming in and money's being paid out and people are making money. And now we can blow into an oak tree incredibly fast, if that's a good analogy. So hopefully that helps make some sense for you, which leads into our next question. What is the rollout plan for additional products in the next year?
And that's a great question. And one of the things that we're going to be very, very smart about doing is, it piggybacks on the question that you answered, is really controlling expectation and the demand of the marketplace. The demand in the marketplace is there. There's no doubt. We broke every record by attracting 1.4 million people to this conversation, because the conversation and the concept is it's come. But the reality of it is building into that vision is going to take time. And we do have internal dates, but what we want to make sure is that when we put external dates out there, that we have flexibility, because when you're dealing with technology, we have an internal date of October 15th to release the communication app in the App Store. That has been our internal date. So we shared that with you, our partners as players. But the other existing marketplace hears that, and when it doesn't get submitted on the 15th because it's technology, something's going wrong. No, it's just simple development. It's gotten pushed 2 weeks because of a middleware bug that they're cleaning up and working out. And so, do we have plans long-term for the next year? Absolutely. We have a very big vision that we have shared with all of you, and we'll start rolling that out after we complete the current initiative that we're on. The current initiative that we're focused on right now is the App Share idea. We're going to get the App Share in the market, and then we are going to get the communication app in the market. And then we'll start talking to you about Rippln 2.0 and about additional feature sets of commerce products and commerce concepts that we'll be introducing.
Absolutely. Why such an expensive program so soon in the game? And I assume this question is referring to the ultimate game of life. Again, this is something that we wanted to do because of how much it really aligns with our values. Number one is that Rippln is about transformation. And this is optional, by the way. So if you think it's expensive, then it might not be for you. Truth be told, $500 to completely transform your happiness, your health, and your wealth is actually quite affordable. There's programs out there that are thousands of dollars. There's weekend seminars that are thousands of dollars. So $500 for a 90-day program to transform your happiness, your health, and your wealth is very affordable. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to continue to validate the concept. We wanted to show the marketplace that, guess what? we know how to do some pretty cool, successful product launches. And if you participate in these promotions, you can actually earn lots of money. And hundreds of thousands of dollars was paid out through this promotion. So that was a huge validation to our concept. We also wanted to launch something that represented who we are. And the ultimate game of life represents who we are, because Rippln is more than just a lifeless technology platform. We are about transforming lives. And what better way to do that than to play the ultimate game of our life? So, we're sorry if you thought it was an expensive program for you, but at the same time, it's optional. Everybody has their choice of what they want to participate in or not participate in. And we believe that the value is actually incredibly cheap compared to the benefits that you get in your life when you actually participate in that game. So, moving on. Questions on engagement and future strategy. What happened? You jumped quickly to over 1 million, and now it seems as membership has stalled. I'll answer this one too. Basically, we did jump to 1 million quickly. We took about 80 days to reach 1 million people, and now we're at almost 1.5 million people. So yes, the sign-up rate has slowed down. And the reason why is because we're validating the model. And it's natural. In the beginning, everybody was really excited because they thought that they were going to start making money in May. Everybody thought, I'm going to be making money in May and I'm going to be making money in June. Well, when that wasn't the case, when all of a sudden we push those deadlines back, because the reality is we've got more work to do and we're simply not ready, and the vision is bigger than we thought, and we've got to really execute on it more, people start to say, well, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to come back and I'm going to promote once I can make money. So to me, the truth is that as soon as the plan, which we're executing over the next 30 days, is in place, and all of a sudden people see that you can make very real money just by sharing apps with your friends, and all of a sudden you can talk on the communication app and have conversations with your friends and grow your Ripple viral around the world, I personally believe that as we deliver the core promises, that we're going to re-see that growth take off again, except this time with a foundation that's truly in place to handle the growth to millions and millions of people. And that, in fact, tens of millions of people. And if you understand why it was necessary that the growth stalled, we were not really ready to handle that growth. The growth had to stall so that we could get the foundation in place to actually build the foundation so that when we relaunch all of the different communication apps and everything else, we're in a position where we now really can scale to millions and tens of millions of people, and you can actually scale your income from hundreds and thousands to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars.
And one thing I would add to that, Jonathan, I think it's so important, is where focus goes, energy flows. And as a company, our focus hasn't been on building the Ripple. Why? Because we know that conversation is ready to grow from 1 million to 10 million to 20 million. But the reality of it is our focus has gone to supporting that type of growth. And what you're going to see as we go from validating the model, you're going to see us go into mass market penetration, where we go into Rippln 2.0, and that becomes our focus again.
Exactly. So that is the plan. The next plan is there a plan to recover energy and motivation of our Ripplers? And the plan is, let's just go out there, have a blast, execute, and show the world what we're made of. As we deliver app sharing on the 28th, the communication app, and everything that's coming, it's truly time to play game. And everybody who loves our concept, everybody who believes, who wants a chance to earn money for free by sharing apps, I mean, they're going to want to play. They're going to want to participate. So the answer is the action we take is going to inspire other people. So the more inspired we are and the more action we take, the more people are going to follow us as we just continue to invite and share what we're doing with the world. I feel like we kind of answered this question already. What is your long-term strategic plan? But I'll touch upon it just for a moment. The truth is our long-term strategic plan is to execute the core ideas and vision that attracted all of us here to begin with, which is how do we have fun, build a residual income, and share apps and cool technologies and get paid for things like we're already doing. And the strategic plan is that we're going to execute that vision over the next 30 days, 100%. And from that point forward, we're just going to iterate and test and refine and make our price points, our cost to join, our conversion rate of people hearing about our ideas and concepts and becoming a player and engaging in the community and sharing it with all their friends. We're going to be refining and tweaking and testing all that so that we can hit that scale point and take off, so that all anyone is doing is literally having fun, sharing apps, sharing the Rippln concept with their friends and family and networks, and getting paid and building a business that allows them to travel the world and build an income and enjoy doing it the entire time. That is the long-term strategic plan. And so you're going to see a tremendous amount of updates and changes and iterations as we fine-tune and focus and dial in this original concept and vision.
And I think a key note to add there is we're going to add fuel to the fire, so to speak. But remember, you're first, and you're first with a groundbreaking idea. So you're participating in the beginning. And I don't know if you've ever had an opportunity to participate in the beginning of a company or a concept and see the evolution, but we're an infant right now. We're a baby. And what I'm asking you is don't beat up your baby. You know, I have a beautiful 11-month-old little boy, and we don't beat him up. We empower him to grow up, right? And so that's where we're at as a company. I mean, listen, we're less than 90 days young since the first time that we allowed people to power up within our community. And so the conversation is 6 months young. And so the exciting news for all of you is that where are we going to be 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road? And you're going to be a part of that evolution, because I can promise you this. The company that you are a part of in 6 months will look and feel completely different than the company that you're a part of today. The foundation and the philosophy and the vision and the mission will be the same, but every component will just keep getting better and better. So I hope that helps you understand that.
I love it. A really important question about global market accessibility. When can we expect Rippln to give as much important promotional materials in other languages as it gives English tools?
Well, I think that number one is our platform is set up on a global basis. Number one, since day one, and this is an expectation, which is our opportunity to correct and get better at, is setting those expectations from day one. But from day one, we've always said that when you have 5,000 players in a specific market, we will then focus on localizing that marketplace. 5,000 players, because that's the number that we came up with to help drive and sustain that market. However, we will have different apps or products from time to time that will be able to reward people in different countries around the world. So once again, I think that that is an evolution. That is our goal. That is our outcomes. But we also need help from local leadership in those foreign countries to help sustain our model there. And so that's from day one we have said that. We need to clean up that expectation and be very clear and concise, just like with the App Share. You know, App Share, you can be anywhere in the world and participate in the App Share program, right? That doesn't mean that you're going to have apps that are specific in your country, but if you're in Brazil, there might not be an app that you're going to get paid to refer someone in Brazil to download for free. However, you might have people in the United States that you could refer to download the app from the United States iTunes store, and you would get rewarded for that. And so we'll be very clear. We're going to work on our communication to make sure that we control those expectations. And that's something as a company we find a lot of opportunity for us to get better and better with. So we appreciate your patience there.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because I believe this is a huge point, and I've been doing a tremendous amount of work with a bunch of our leaders from the international markets, we really do require at this stage in the game, all the markets that we're converting, like for instance, our Ultimate Game of Life promotion, we had everything in Spanish, we had everything in Portuguese, we had everything in English. But the reason why is because we had hands-on help from leadership in those countries and in those markets to really help us convert and create promotional materials for all these different markets. The reality is right now, just like Brian said, in order for us as a company to be able to have the money to go and set up operations in all of these different countries for all the different promotions, our requirement is 5,000 active paying players per month to be able to go in and operationalize all those different countries. So the reality is we're completely willing to do all sorts of work, and we are doing all sorts of work with leaders all over the world, But prior to us having 5,000 people who are players in your country, that means that you have to step up and you have to come to us and you have to engage with us and really help take on some of the responsibilities of creating those promotional materials, as well as, in certain cases, finding different products and apps for your countries. For instance, right now, we're looking at products that we can integrate to the Ripple that are completely global. And in the United States, we brought the Ultimate Game of Life. That came from the U.S. distributor base, right? It came from the U.S. player base. So if you want to bring a product to Italy or to Brazil or to Germany or to Russia or to wherever it may be, we are completely open to integrating products that you find for your markets with the Ripple so that you can drive that entire conversation. But right now, it's a 50-50 street, really. We're able to meet leaders in these countries where they're able to meet us. And right now, we've got some exciting things coming out. We've got Photo Guest through Android, which is going to be rolled out around the world with internationalization right on the heels. We've got the communication app, which is going to have internationalization from the start in 7 of the most popular languages in the Ripple. We've got the app sharing concept, which has the ability to share apps in various countries all over the globe. United States, Italy, New Zealand, Australia. There's certain apps that are available in Mexico, and we're going to publish a list of all those different countries. But for instance, there's lots of activity happening around the globe. And over the next 6 months, we're going to have the ability to increase all the different apps, all the different products, more apps in the ecosystem. But again, it takes time. And as the player base builds in each country, and this is what everyone needs to understand around the world, that if you see our vision and you see where we're going and you recognize the power of this concept, and you have basic validation like Photo Guest through Android and the Rippln communication app and different apps in the app sharing catalog that you can earn money from directly when you share them. If you have basic validation that, hey, look at where this concept can go, then just imagine what we can do consistently over the next 6 months and the next 12 months as we add more products and build out promotional materials that are specific to your country. And that's the truth. And so really it's a co-creation as much as it is, Rippln is focused on serving a lot of these markets. And the truth is we've got to service the markets. We don't have the ability to service every market from the start. We've got to service the markets where there's, active engagement and demand. And we can see that by the number of players that are powering up in those markets. So any leader can go right now and build a team of 1,000 people, of 5,000 people in your market, and we're going to come and we're going to put a ton of firepower towards you. So hopefully that answers your question. A really important question. I believe Rippln's top priority for improvement should be, number 1, release the communicator app before offering other promotions. Okay, we hear you on that. Although still, from a company perspective, we believe that validating our model with all the promotions that we've done is very important. And once we validate with the communication app, hopefully you'll see, wow, this is really everything that was promised. Also, focus on getting apps and games and hard goods to sell in the Ripple instead of coaching programs. We hear you. We are absolutely focused on getting more apps and more really cool hard goods like smartwatches. And we hope that as we roll all those out, you'll really see how programs like the Ultimate Game of Life really make everyone's life better throughout this entire process as well. Getting the social media platform up and running and Android development. We're listening. Training on how to succeed in Rippln. This is a conversation we were just having last night. We're coming out with a whole new training program. Helping new members understand how to get started. We hear you. Better communication with leaders of the Ripples. We're working on this. We've actually got a leaders-only communication call that takes place pretty much once a week and sometimes multiple times a week. Clarity on the compensation plan. Absolutely. We also are working on how to deliver clarity.
And I think the most important thing through all these is in business and in life, it's all about progression. It's all about seeing progression and getting better and better. And so the exciting news is that you guys are helping us evolve the framework that you want to see that progression in. And so we have notes and we are literally diving in real time. And what I'm asking you to do is literally analyze this over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, because we're going to be better in 90 days than we are in 30 days. And so that's something we're committed to as a company. And it's something that now we can put energy behind, because that's where our focus is as we're getting ready to move from validation and completing validation into mass marketing. And so that's exciting news. And I think that that's very important. And we want to make sure we communicate constant updates towards these things with you.
So, you know, we've got hordes of amazing responses here. I mean, clear, straightforward messages with minimal hype, more inclusive communications, rethink your membership fees, make offerings, you know, all sorts of your guys' feedback. And what we want to promise you is that we are 100% listening, we are 100% open, and hopefully you can see, you know, we're willing to make ourselves vulnerable, because we believe that this is a new paradigm conversation, and that this is something that we're going to create together. We don't have all the answers. Nobody on our team has all the answers. But what we're confident on and what we're clear on is that as we move forward and as we follow our vision and as we execute our mission, we are listening. We are 100% here. We are open. And hopefully you see, you know, the reason why we're making ourselves vulnerable is because we don't have all the answers. And what I believe, I know what Brian believes as well, is that we don't need to have all the answers, because the truth is that this is a new paradigm conversation, that we're going to come up with the answers together, that we're going to crowdsource really the future success of this company. We're going to figure that out together. And what we really need to do, what we need to do as partners, as a management team, as everybody behind Rippln, as our partners out in the Ripple, what all of us need to do truly to succeed, to truly create amazing results in our life, is stay completely committed to the vision that we believe in. If we believe in this, if we believe in its value, if we believe that this should exist in the world, that this needs to exist in the world, that this is important to exist in the world, that this has to, as long as we stay completely committed to our vision and to the value that we want to bring to everybody and to creating the funnest, coolest way to build a residual income that anyone's possibly ever seen, then all of these answers will happen. You know, we will discover and we will perfect and we will iterate and we will improve upon any shortcoming that we may find in ourselves or in our business model or in our company, period and end of story. That's the power of our model. It's the power of the crowd. It's the power of you, and we're listening. So, you know, we're just excited to be here at this standpoint now where we're really ready to jump off with the validation we have underneath our feet, the validation coming in the next 30 days. I mean, it's really time to engage and go build an income that changes our lives and changes the world. That's what I think. I think that's where we're at.
And you know, in one closing remark and closing note, number one is if the answers were in place, there would already be a blueprint to what we're doing. That is the very essence of doing a blue ocean strategy, is we are innovating and creating. This isn't a traditional business model that it's a cookie cutter model. And with that being said, I think that the most important thing that I think we can say is, number one, how much we appreciate you, because if you're watching this, then you see what we see and you believe what we believe. We're all at different timing in our life, but if you're watching this, you see where we're going into the future, and we want to thank you for that. And we also want to thank you for being a part of this evolution and supporting us and participating in it. And I think that the commitment that we're making is that, you know, we are going to make mistakes. We are imperfect leaders, but our intention is to complete the mission. And I think the commitment that we can stay true to is our commitment is we are going to go for the vision and the mission of the concept and do whatever it takes. And so with that being said, this is our commitment to you, and we appreciate it.
Whatever it takes, my friends.